Welcome back to Basecamp Engineering. I am Hardik, and today we are going on a fun adventure with something called calculus. Don't let the word scare you. Calculus is like a magic tool that helps engineers build cool things like roller coasters, rockets, and even bridges. It's all about understanding how things change and grow. Ready? Let's go. Calculus is like a superhero for engineers. It helps them figure out how fast a toy car speeds up, how far a rocket travels, or even how a bridge stays strong. In this video, we will learn 4 big ideas. First, we will talk about differentiation. Then, we will learn about integration, and after that, we will explore logarithms and exponential functions. We will see how engineers use these ideas to make amazing things. Here is a quick question to get you thinking. If your toy car gets 2 meters faster every second, how much faster is it after 3 seconds? Think about it. We will find out soon. Let's start with differentiation. It's like figuring out how fast something is changing. Imagine you are pushing a toy car across the floor. At first, you are slow, but then you push harder and it goes faster and faster. Differentiation helps us find out exactly how fast it's going at any moment. It's like asking how steep is this hill or how quickly is my car speeding up. But to do that, we need to learn some simple rules for differentiation. Let's break it down with fun examples and learn how to do it step by step. First, let's talk about what differentiation does. If you know how far something has gone, like the distance your toy car travels, differentiation tells you how fast it's going, which is the speed. To do differentiation, we use some easy rules. Let's learn two of the most important ones, the constant rule and the power rule. The constant rule says if your distance is something like 5t, where t is the time in seconds, then the speed is just the number in front, which is 5. So, if distance is equals to 5t, your speed is 5 meters per second. Easy, right? The power rule is for when the distance has a power, like t square or t cube. The rule says if distance is equals to t raised to power n, where n is the power, then the speed is n multiplied by t raised to power n minus 1. For example, if distance is equals to t square, the power is 2, so the speed is 2t. If distance is equals to t cube, the speed is 3t square. These rules are like a secret code to find the speed. Let's try them out. Let's pretend you are walking to your friend's house and you are counting how far you go every second. After 1 second, you have walked 2 meters. After 2 seconds, you have walked 4 meters. After 3 seconds, you have walked 6 meters. See the pattern? Every second, you walk 2 meters more. We can write this as a rule. Your distance is 2 times the number of seconds, or distance is equals to 2t, where t is the time in seconds. Now, how fast are you walking? Let's use the constant rule. Since the distance is 2t, the number in front is 2. So, your speed is 2 meters per second. That means every second you are moving 2 meters. Nice and steady. Now, let's make it more exciting with the power rule. Imagine you are riding a bike down a curvy hill and your distance gets bigger, faster, and faster. Let's say your distance is t square. That means after 1 second, you have gone 1 meter. After 2 seconds, you have gone 4 meters. And after 3 seconds, you have gone 9 meters. Your distance is growing faster each second. To find your speed, we differentiate using the power rule. The rule is distance is equals to t square. So the power is 2. The speed is 2t. So at 1 second, your speed is 2 meters per second. At 2 seconds, it's 4 meters per second. At 3 seconds, it's 6 meters per second. See how your speed is getting bigger. That's because you are speeding up, and differentiation shows us how fast. Let's try one more example with a ball. Imagine you throw a ball straight up in the air. Its height is given by a rule. Height is equals to 10t minus 5t square, where height is in meters and t is in seconds. This has two parts, 10t and negative 5t square. We differentiate each part separately and add them together. For 10t, we use the constant rule. The speed is 10. For negative 5t square, we use the power rule. The power is 2, so it's negative 10t. Add them together. So the speed is 10 minus 10t. At t is equals to 1 second, the speed is 0 meters per second. That's the moment the ball stops going up and starts falling down. Differentiation helps engineers figure out speeds like how fast a ball moves or how quickly a car speeds up on a racetrack. Differentiation is like having a speedometer for anything that changes. It's so cool for engineers. Let's see if you got it with a quick quiz. You are pushing a toy car and its distance is 4t, where distance is in meters and t is in seconds. How fast is it going? The answer is A, 4 meters per second. Great job. Let's move on to integration next. Now, let's talk about integration. It's like adding up lots of tiny pieces to find a big total. If differentiation is about finding how fast something changes, integration is the opposite. It helps us find the whole amount, like how far you have walked or how high a rocket goes. Think of it like counting all the steps you take to see how far you have gone. But to do integration, we need to learn some simple rules. Just like we did for differentiation, let's learn how to integrate and try some fun examples. First, let's understand what integration does. If you know how fast something is going, like the speed of your toy car, integration tells you how far it's gone, which is the distance. We will use two easy rules for integration, the constant rule and the power rule, but they work a little differently than in differentiation. The constant rule says if your speed is something like 3, then the distance is 3t, where t is the time. So if speed is equals to 3, the distance after t seconds is 3t. The power rule is for when the speed has a power, like t or t square. The rule says if speed is equals to t raised to power n, then the distance is 1 upon n plus 1 multiplied by t raised to power n plus 1. For example, if speed is equals to t, then n is equals to 1, so the distance is 1 by 2t square. If speed is equals to t square, the distance is 1 by 3t cube. We also need to know the time period, like from 0 seconds to 3 seconds, and subtract the distance at the start from the distance at the end. Let's try these rules with some examples. Imagine you are walking to the park and you are walking at a steady speed of 3 meters per second. You walk for 5 seconds. How far did you go? Let's use the constant rule. Since your speed is 3 meters per second, the distance is 3t. From 0 seconds to 5 seconds, we calculate the distance at 5 seconds and subtract the distance at 0 seconds. At 5 seconds, 15 meters, and at 0 seconds, it's 0 meters. So the total distance is 15 meters. That's integration. It's like adding up all the little bits of distance you travel each second. Now let's try the power rule. Imagine you are riding a scooter and your speed is getting faster. Your speed is 2t, where t is the time in seconds. At 1 second, your speed is 2 meters per second. At 2 seconds, it's 4 meters per second. You are speeding up. To find out how far you go from 0 seconds to 3 seconds, we integrate. The speed is 2t, so first we look at the t part. T has a power of 1, so using the power rule, the integral of t is 1 by 2t square. Since there is a 2 in front, the distance is t square. From 0 to 3 seconds, the distance is 9 meters. Let's try one more example with a rocket. The rocket's speed is 5t, where speed is in meters per second. At 1 second, its speed is 5 meters per second. At 2 seconds, it's 10 meters per second. It's speeding up. How far does it go from 0 to 2 seconds? The speed is 5t, so the integral of t is 1 by 2t square. With the 5, the distance is 5 by 2t square. From 0 to 2 seconds, the distance is 10 meters. The rocket travels 10 meters in 2 seconds. Integration helps engineers figure out things like how far a rocket goes or how much water a dam holds. Integration is like putting together a puzzle. It adds up all the little pieces to show the bigger picture. Let's test what you learned with a quiz. You are running at a speed of 2 meters per second for 3 seconds. How far do you go? The answer is A, 6 meters. Nice work. Let's move on to logarithms and exponential functions. Now, let's explore logarithms and exponential functions. They are like magic for things that grow really big or shrink really small. In engineering, some things change super fast, like a rocket getting faster, or super slow, like a cup of hot chocolate cooling down. These two ideas help us understand those changes. First, let's talk about exponential functions. They are for things that grow or shrink really quickly. Imagine you are blowing up a balloon and every second it gets twice as big. After 1 second, it's 2 times bigger. After 2 seconds, it's 4 times bigger. After 3 seconds, it's 8 times bigger. We can write this as 2 raised to power t, where t is the time in seconds. That's an exponential function. It grows super fast. Let's try it with a rocket. The rocket's speed is 3 raised to power t, where speed is in meters per second. At 0 seconds, its speed is 1 meters per second. At 1 second, it's 3 meters per second. At 2 seconds, it's 9 meters per second. The speed is growing so fast because it's exponential. Engineers use this to understand things that grow quickly, like a rocket's speed or even how many toys a factory makes. Now, let's talk about shrinking. Imagine you have a cup of hot chocolate that's cooling down. Its temperature is 50 times e raised to power negative zero point 0.2 T, where temperature is in degrees Celsius, T is in minutes, and E is a special number about 2.718. This is another exponential function, but it makes things smaller. At 0 minutes, the temperature is 50 degrees Celsius. It's hot. After 5 minutes, 50 multiplied by e raised to power negative 1. Since e raised to power negative 1 is about 0.368, the temperature is 18.4 degrees Celsius. It's cooled down a lot. Exponential functions help engineers understand things that shrink, like how fast something cools or how a spring stops bouncing. Now, let's learn about logarithms. They are like the opposite of exponentials. Imagine you have 10 raised to power 3, which is equals to 1000. That means 10 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 10, which is equals to 1000. A logarithm asks, how many times do I multiply 10 to get 1000? The answer is 3. So, log base 10 of 1000 is 3. Logarithms help engineers with big numbers. For example, if a sound is 10 square, that is equals to 100 times louder than a whisper, its loudness in decibels is 10 times log base 10 of 100, which is 20 decibels. Logarithms make big numbers smaller and easier to work with. Logarithms and exponential functions are so cool. They help engineers understand growth and shrinking in the world. Let's test what you learned with a quiz. A balloon's size is 4 raised to power t, where t is in seconds. How big is it after 1 second? The answer is A, 4 times bigger. Great job. Let's see how engineers use all these ideas next. Now, let's see how calculus helps engineers make awesome things. We have learned about differentiation, integration, logarithms, and exponential functions. And engineers use all of them to build stuff like roller coasters, rockets, and bridges. I will show you 3 fun examples and I will keep it really simple so you can understand how calculus works in real life. First, let's design a roller coaster. Imagine the roller coaster's height as it goes down a hill is height is equals to 20t minus 2t square, where height is in meters and t is in seconds. At 1 second, the height is 18 meters. At 2 seconds, it's 32 meters. Engineers use differentiation to find the speed. The derivative of 20t minus 2t square is 20 minus 4t. At t is equals to 1 second, the speed is 16 meters per second. That's how fast the roller coaster is going. They use this to make sure the ride is fun but safe for everyone. Next, let's launch a rocket. The rocket's speed is 3t square, where speed is in meters per second and t is in seconds. At 1 second, its speed is 3 meters per second. At 2 seconds, it's 12 meters per second. It's speeding up fast. To find how far it goes in 2 seconds, engineers use integration. The integral of 3t square is t cube. From 0 to 2 seconds, the distance is 8 meters. The rocket travels 8 meters. Engineers use integration to figure out how much fuel the rocket needs to reach space. Finally, let's look at a bridge. When a car drives over a bridge, the bridge shakes a little, and the shaking gets smaller over time. The shaking size is 5 raised to power negative 0.1 t, where t is in seconds. At 0 seconds, it's 5 meters of shaking. At 10 seconds, it's 1.84 meters. It's almost stopped. Engineers use exponential functions to understand how the shaking shrinks, and they use logarithms to study the data, making sure the bridge is safe for cars. Calculus is like a superhero power for engineers. It helps them build amazing things that make our world so cool. Let's wrap up with some practice questions to test what you learned. We have learned so much about calculus in engineering today. Let's go over what we discovered. Differentiation is like finding out how fast something changes, like a toy car speeding up. Integration is like adding up all the little steps to find a big total, like how far a rocket travels. Logarithms and exponential functions help us understand things that grow big or shrink small, like a balloon getting bigger or a cup of hot chocolate cooling down. You have seen how engineers use calculus to build roller coasters, launch rockets, and make bridges safe. I hope you are excited about calculus now. To keep practicing, I have got 10 fun questions for you, so you can test what you learned. Try them out, write your answers in the comments, and I will pin the solutions. We make new videos every Friday, so subscribe and hit the bell to keep learning with us. Next week, we will explore another super cool topic to make engineering even more fun. Stay tuned.